All right, welcome to Gomega 234 Kitchen. My name is Lydia Enidia Eke. We are making homemade banga soup. Banga. All right, banga soup or banga soup, whatever you want to call it, but it is called banga soup. You can see these nuts. I boiled them. I got the palm nuts from the market. I brought them home, washed them, boiled them. My girl was saying, let's put it in the blender and blend. I say, you want to scatter my blender? No, we'll put it in the mortar. Let's do it the way it ought to be done, so we enjoy that natural taste of banga soup. So I brought it downstairs. I had to transfer it to the mortar and I started pounding. That's why it's here. Let's see how far we can go. You pound until it's pulpy. You pound until the flesh comes off the palm nut. All right, it is the flesh that we're now going to use to prepare the banga soup. Let's go. We're still pounding. You can see the way it's going. Just get a big mortar. If you can't lay your hands on a big mortar, you can use the one you have. The little or smaller mortars you can use in the kitchen. I decided to come downstairs to do this pounding because I want to get the real banga taste. I'll be back very shortly. That's it. If you look very well now, you see the skin of the palm nut is off the nuts. I will now scoop them out of the mortar into a bowl, take them upstairs. All right, I will now add some warm water to try to extract the water, or will I say the palm water. That's what I'm going to use to prepare my banga soup. Okay, so after pounding, I want to use my hands. For me, that's the best way to get my results. I will now begin to scoop into the bowl. I'll scoop all this into the bowl, and it's now time to extract. That's why many times I run away from preparing banga soup, but I don't want to get the soup that is not banga. When you want to make banga soup, for me it's like a little bit stressful, but as so far I'm able to get the original taste, I don't mind. I'm able to get it the way it ought to be. So I have to use my hand, scoop. All right, scoop. The mortar is almost empty. I like to do it the homemade way. Don't forget, we tell the African food story to a global audience, and I will always say it is a privilege to tell the Nigerian food story to a global audience. So see my banga. See, the scoop is ready. I've scooped it into this bowl, and I'm taking it now to go and start washing to extract the oil so that I can have a nice banga soup. All right, so welcome back to Gomega 234 Kitchen. This is the making of banga soup, and this is my fish I want to be using. I want to season with this. Just watch the way I'm going to do it. For this banga soup, this is my fish. I want to season it before I begin to send into the pot. Apart from my fish, this is the thickener. I like to use ofo, sometimes achi, sometimes cocoyam powder. Sometimes if I just want to do something experimental, I blend everything together. So apart from my ofo, this is my salt. Now I'm mixing my sea salt with my refined salt. So it's a mix of sea salt and refined salt. And apart from that, I have seasonings. And apart from seasonings, of course, I have my almighty Cameroon pepper. It makes it scent very nice and well. And then this is pepper soup spice. I'm going to take a little, like maybe half teaspoon, and add so that I can have this local taste. That's pepper soup smell, even though it's banga. I'm also going to mix this with my banga spice. All right. And this is saint leaf. You can't make banga soup without saint leaf. This is my fresh saint leaf. I also have dry saint leaf. I will show you shortly. This is my crayfish. I mixed the crayfish with the shrimp. You know the big red shrimp? I mixed it with the crayfish and I blended everything together. I brought it together to a very good mix. I'm going to be using this. This is uziza leaves. I had to keep this uziza leaf for it to be a bit dry so that I can just cut and squeeze into my soup. I'll add a little because I already have saint leaf. And this is my uziza seed. I'm just going to use very little of it. This is my onion. These are my onions. I'm going to be cutting this and adding to the banga soup. And of course, these are the banga. This is the main ingredient. The banga is already I've pound it in the mortar, and I've been able to get this. I've gotten this pulpy consistency. I'll be mixing with warm water to extract the juice that I will use to prepare the banga soup. Sometimes I may decide to garnish my soup with very little crayfish, that is whole crayfish. So I'll be taking some from here. You know, this is the real local crayfish. That's why I see find the crabs, all the seafood packed in, but this time around dry. So the last but not the least are my dry saint leaves. I have these dry saint leaves. I want to use a little of this for those who will be watching from other parts of the world, especially not from Nigeria or Africa. You find that many times we don't lay our hands, we cannot readily lay our hands on fresh saint leaves. Many who travel out of Nigeria to different parts of the world, like the UK, Australia, America, and the rest, they go with dry saint leaf. And they're asking me, oh, Lydia, can we still use dry saint leaf to make banga soup? Why not? So that's why I have this. I'll take a little of this, and I'm going to mix it with my fresh saint leaves to give it that banga taste. So get ready. We're going to have a nice time together. Now I want to start mixing my fish, then I'll start adding everything together. So now I have to add some hot water. I transferred the banga delicacy to this bowl, and I'm adding hot water. Why I'm adding hot water is to melt it. Some people would like to use cold water, but I like to use hot water so that I melt the entire palm oil out of the nuts before I now discard them. So I want to get a